Hey folks, Dave here, and welcome to my Empire Total War American Road to Independence Let's Play. This is going to be episode 5, I believe, and I'm going to start this one off by doing a quick overview of where we are. The current year is 1782, it is winter, and the fledgling United States now controls 4 territories here in the northeast of the Americas. We control, of course, Boston, as well as New York, Maine, and Acadia up here in the northeast. I'm gonna go in a bit here, zoom on in. Naval situation is not looking good. We have a very large British Navy blockading the port at New York. That's a fleet of 7 fifth-rate ships of the line, and that's currently preventing some trade from that port. Our port at Providence is open for the moment. We've got a small fleet there. Let's see, 2 fifth-rates, the Viking and the Repulse, sloop, and a brig. Definitely not enough to take on this giant stack of fifth-rates. Up here in the northeast, we just captured, I think it was the last episode, captured Acadia up here. We got a little bit of construction going on. I finally have this trading port being built here in Maine, and that's going to give us some more sea route trade options, as well as add some wealth to the region and the individual towns in this region. Each town, which is usually represented here by a building type, adds some value to the overall income of the territory, and so by adding the trading port, it will continually increase the value of our cities.
Yes, sir.
George Washington is up here in the north of Maine. His army is currently being replenished. We had a couple of big battles in the last episode. It's also mainly Minutemen, which is, you know, they're just militia. They're not truly trained line infantry. We're going up here against British regulars in most cases, although in this case the stack in particular is militia as well as some British cannons and mounted tribal cavalry. Yes, I do know how to say the word correctly some of the time. What is this colonial British militia doing hanging out here in Maine? That's not gonna... Let's go ahead and just wipe them out. Lost 34 men. Okay, get out of here. So what I'm going to do here is replenish the troops that just fought there in Maine. Got this Dragoons and Minutemen. I'm going to add them to Washington's army as well as this 4th Regiment of Line Infantry Foot. Add him to Washington. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, these guys are out of movement range. That unit, the Regiment of Foot. So we can't move anymore this turn, but I will go ahead and add those guys back to the army. I'm going to keep 1 unit of regular militia here on the university, just because our research is going to be super important as we move forward here. We're so far behind the other nations of the world in our technology. Our barracks is still the initial barracks. We've got a long ways to go and a long road of research to get up to the more advanced units. The rank that we really need to get to for our military advancements is going to be fire by rank, and this completely changes how battles play out. Right now, my lines of troops as they line up for battle, only the first row of men fires, and then they just stand there and reload their muskets, and it's a long, slow process. Once you unlock fire by rank, your military has learned how to have the first row of men all fire their muskets, and then they actually go down on one knee to reload, and then the line behind them fires a volley over their heads, and then it continues back through all the ranks of the regiment. As you can imagine, that takes a lot of discipline, but what happens is, instead of having a giant 3 rows of troops just standing there idly by waiting for the men in front of them to die so they can stand forward and shoot, you have just constant volleys of fire coming out of your ranks into the enemy. and it's devastating once you get to that point that you get that fire by rank. We don't have any research time right now to spare for any of the agricultural upgrades. Those are important, but I'm really pushing the government upgrades right now because of the wealth increases and the research increases that it provides. Getting these out of the way early will help us later on. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, we don't even have a naval college at all yet, so we're just stuck at this point with these simple shipyards, and we don't even have room in Boston to build a naval college. To get a naval college, we're going to have to capture a larger city. In this case, if we capture Philadelphia, they already have a naval board, the naval college right here, and they're actually upgrading it now. It looks like the British are. So in order for us to upgrade our naval research, we're going to have to just capture Philadelphia. One thing that I really love about this game is you carve a unique path through history for your nation, whether you're playing here as the United States or you're doing the Grand Campaign and playing as, you know, France or Great Britain or Spain or any one of the giant empires at this time. It's so neat to actually play through history and kind of write your own rules and see how these massive events played out. With all that being said, it's time to get rocking and rolling. We've got a lot to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get started spending all of our hard-earned tax dollars. Alright, so I'm going to leave this unit of militia, Minutemen here, and this regiment of horse up here in the north. I'm going to have this line infantry join the forces down here in New York. And let's see, we've got some dragoons. We're going to get one more. Get a regiment of horse and then a unit of regiment of line infantry to add to our forces in New York, because they're having to hold the line against all of these random armies floating around here in the north, as well as keeping an eye on all of these troop movements down here in Philadelphia. As far as economic upgrades go, I've still got 3,000 gold. Let's go ahead and upgrade our mines here in Maine. Currently there's nothing on the mine location, so we're going to build an iron mine, which will add 875 to the region wealth. The region wealth is currently at 5,000, and we're getting 40% out of that for taxes for 2,000. That's going to give us a nice, almost instant tax boost as soon as that building's done in 2 turns here. Let's see. Our research is going. There's a few turns left for those. I think we're good there. Not really seeing a whole lot else we can upgrade. I want to be careful spending this money, especially early here in the beginning. You know, you've got to be so careful where your funds go. I'd like to build more military, and I think I will for this turn, but oh, I'm actually out of recruitment slots. This simple barracks can only recruit so many guys at a time. Well then, I guess I'll recruit. I don't want to recruit militia. They're just not organized. Got provincial cavalry going up here in Acadia. As far as long-term strategy goes, I think what I'm going to do here is kind of take a page from my own history books, and before moving on Philadelphia here in the south, I'm going to try to take out Quebec. This is a very large city where they're getting a lot of troop recruitment from, and a lot of income as well. There's a fort there, but if I can take it, it's a lot of income and a lot of new options for me. I'm not really interested in holding on to Quebec, but I just want to neutralize it as a threat here on my northern border. I need to get a third army here, because I've only got two full stack armies, one in New York and one in with Washington's army on the move up here. And that doesn't give me a lot of coverage over my territory. Anyway, enough wishful thinking. We'll try to get that third army going here soon. I'm going to mention real quick before we end our turn here, we have a bit of a, I guess, diplomacy glitch here in Darth Mod, where for some reason the Empire of Spain has declared war on me, just out of nowhere. I'm not really sure how that happened. I'm going to kind of leverage, or I'm going to request a peace treaty here and leverage some technology to try and convince them to not go to war with me, and then also sign a trade agreement. Let's see if they go for that. Okay, they're counter offering, they want all of my technology for a peace treaty. They're going to pay me $1,000. Let me just clear that offer off. Alright. Request peace, request trade agreement, technology. Let's make it good for them. Give them this one, and we'll do carbines too. So 2 technologies, a trade agreement, and a peace treaty. Let's see if they're up for that. Okay, they're good for that. Usually what happens, I've noticed playing a bit of Darth Mod as France in a separate game I've been enjoying. If you get a random declaration of war, like from a friend that you had a trade agreement with, it usually means that there's a stack of troops in a ship about to land on your shores and take something over. So there's a good chance that somewhere out here there's a Spanish ship that was full of dudes looking for a territory to conquer. Not really something that I wanted to deal with. But hey, that trade agreement is definitely going to add a good bit of income. Yeah, 1,400 extra income from trading furs and other goods with Spain. So yeah, that's all good stuff there. We don't get conquered, and we get some more money. Let's go ahead and end that turn. Got British moving more ships into New York right there. Screw you guys. And the British are also appearing to move a good number of troops up here in the northeast towards Acadia. Now what I'm going to try to do, I think, is going to be a gamble. There's militia and all that I'm going to be recruiting here. I'm going to try to move them north to Acadia to prepare for those troops' arrival. But I'm going to move Washington to the west and try to take Quebec, and maybe that'll get them to come back. What is this guy doing? Random unit of cavalry running through New York. What? I've got a cannon somewhere that had an opportunity to intercept there. I don't know where that cannon is. Oh, hello, Spanish fleet that was full of dudes. Yeah, so that's why that treaty was really important with Spain. What is this navy here? A bunch of 5th rates. And let's look at the army. Oh, holy crap. I think they were coming for Boston. That would have sucked. It's a full stack army, an average general, but I mean that's... Wow, that is a massive, massive army. So we just dodged a huge bullet there. I'm not sure what Spain was getting so angry about, but anyway. Hopefully we can keep the peace with them and not have to deal with it. Now, where is my cannon? Oh, they have the cannon. I have the unit of horse here. You know what? I'm gonna go kill that cannon. We've made a technology advance here. Government by consent, which is definitely good for my government type because I am a representative republic. So that's going to be a good upgrade for me. That particular upgrade, research upgrade right there, if you're a monarchy, definitely adds to your clamor for reform. But yeah, we're a republic, so it's all good. Next up is division of labor, which will continue adding wealth at the cost of some unhappiness in the lower classes. New York is continuing to be blocked, yada yada. State capital is done in New York. Trading port is done in Maine. Recruitment report. We got a 4th rate in the Atlantic Ocean. Where? Where did I just... Oh, it's up here. I built a 4th rate at a fishery. Okay. No, it was a British fishery, so I guess they have better docks than I do, jerks. I'm gonna go ahead and add this 4th rate to my fleet here.
Ready and
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and build a second one. It's a little expensive, but maybe we can actually take on some of these British ships. All of these 5th rates. My 4th rate outranks the 5th rates just by a little bit. Alright.
Sir. Immediately.
Get our line infantry here. Let's move our militia this way. Swap him out with an actual line infantry because these guys are on the front lines. We don't want to have a whole army made up of just militia. Horse and Minutemen. Let's get these guys rolling up here to Acadia and prepare for the invasion here. I think I have enough time to get an army up there. Ah, crap. Washington is going to take forever to get over here because of our movement range over here to Quebec. What do we got coming for us? We've got, alright, artillery, militia, rangers, more artillery, artillery, unmovable demi-cannon artillery, militia. Okay, you know what? This is actually kind of a ragtag army. This is the only semi-large stack, and there's no line infantry. It's all militia. I think we can hold them off. Okay, so here's where the gamble comes in. I'm going to keep recruiting as much as possible and sending everyone to the north. I wonder if I can actually spare a line infantry and a cannon. Let's go ahead and get them moving to the north. It'll take them 2 turns, okay. This is going to be interesting. Let's see, we have any other options for trade? Nope, we're already trading with everybody. Spain needs to just go away with that giant army. It's going to make me nervous just sitting off the coast like that. Okay. We still have almost 4,000 gold. What can we upgrade here? How about the roads? Yeah, we'll upgrade some roads here. Go from dirt roads in Acadia to cobblestone. Everything else is already cobblestone. We're so surrounded here. This is actually quite nerve-wracking. We have so little to work with. So much to do. Make sure that everything is recruiting. I wonder if a tax increase would help. A little bit. Alright, we're going to raise taxes just for 1 turn to get a little bit of an income boost. Well, a second thought, we're sitting on so much money here. Maybe not. We'll just... Raising taxes can give you a quick influx of cash, but it does hurt the growth of your towns. At this point, I already can't spend the money that I have. There's no need to buff that money and add to it when it's going to hurt the growth of my my cities here. Just as an example, looking at the Confederation of New England territory, growth in the next turn is going to be about 0.14% thanks to agriculture. Well, that's pretty much it. There's actually a negative tax burden here which hurts the growth. And just to show you how that works, if I were to take my taxes down a bunch, okay, that population growth has over doubled now, from 0.14% to 0.37%. And this also means that the faster my territory towns and my population grows, I actually get, in most territories, new towns. In this case, there's the town of Hartford, which is, where's that going to be? Yeah, right here, Hartford. You can see there's like a few small little cabin buildings. It's not an actual town yet, but once this territory grows enough and this becomes an actual town, I'll be able to build certain buildings on there, like weaving colleges and such, which will give me income. or churches to improve my population's disposition, all kinds of good stuff. So, long story short, taxes, increasing them, for quick influx of cash, but not worth it in the long run. Alright, here in the south, let's go ahead and send our horses after this cannon. What? Okay, this is one of those instances where the auto-resolve just does not make any sense. This is a single unit of cannon versus a whole regiment of cavalry, and I'm actually going to reload a save here. I'm going to fight that battle out. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because it just makes no sense. This cannon cannot do anything against a bunch of agile horsemen. The auto-resolve system is not perfect, so I do quick save a lot in case it does something just totally weird like that. I mean, you look at our odds here. The balance of power is totally in my favor. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to just run these guys off the field. So you know what? I'm a bit bitter about that. Let's go ahead and just wipe them off the face of the earth. Man, what a shame to waste this really cool map on a battle between a unit of horse and a cannon. I would love to fight an actual battle on this map. Check out the river crossings and the forests. That'd be pretty sweet. Alright, charging in we go. Now they're going to try to set up their cannon before my horse get to them. Nope, they actually just packed it back up again. Now they're going to try to set up. It's just going to be too late. Yep, you guys are screwed. Oh, that was a stab. Ah, brutal. Brutal. There's only one of them left. There he is. Making a run for it, guys. No mercy. Yeah, that's what I thought, game. Don't you sass me with your auto-resolve battles. That's more like it. I lost one horse, who probably tripped over the rest of his comrades as we overran the enemy.
Men, forward.
That will cost me 15 gold to replace. Send him back to New York. Okay. Well, everything is recruiting.
Your humble servant.
Let's go ahead and get Washington moving here in the north. Go ahead and charge this guy. Got 2 units of militia. Let's see how the auto-resolve is going to do here. Let's see if it's going to make sense. Alright, we lost 200 men, killed 600. I think that's a pretty reasonable auto-resolve. Next we march on Acadia. George Washington has gained a trait, plus 3 morale to battles. Man. This general has often crossed swords with the enemy on the field of battle. Courage is now a permanent feature of this general's character. All hail George Washington. Plus 1 command as well. Alright, his army does need replenishing. But, look at this, Quebec is completely undefended. All that's left, those little 2 gray bars there on the stack list, those are just the local firelock armed citizenry that are always, they come free with the town basically. There are no actual military groups here in Quebec. Because they all moved into Acadia to try to take it back, because they thought it was undefended, which it kind of is right now. But surprise, George Washington, all up in your business. Let's see how Great Britain reacts to that one. Whoa! Great Britain just wiped out the Spanish fleet off of the coast, which also destroyed the entire army that was down there. Wait, Great Britain was at war with Spain? That's an interesting development. I did not even realize that. Ah, so it looks like the British are moving some of their troops back. Okay, France wants a military alignment. Military alliance. They want New York in exchange. Alright, let's make a counteroffer. Alliance in exchange for... I can offer you 97 gold that I have left. Nope, they're not interested. Why weren't they offering me the Windward Islands? Sometimes the AI just decides that they like the look of your territories for some reason. Alright, military syllabus is done. That's going to allow is, I believe, an upgrade to my barracks. Yes! Go from a barracks to a drill school. This should allow me... Oh, still only recruiting 2 at a time, but I'll be able to recruit some new units, including grenadiers, rangers, and eventually light infantry. It's now the winter of 1783. We have our mines built up here in Maine, as well as the state capital. Oh wow, our income went up 680 by adding those mines, as well as the trading port. That's excellent. Our guy down here is getting good at all his spine and such. Our rake. Let's go ahead and start this turn off right and burn down the British trading port here in Lewes. Yes. I meant to do that last turn, but I totally forgot. It's going to cost them money to repair and get rid of that trade income. Oh! Our trade route is actually open because the British had to go up here and kill the fleet, and oh my gosh, they got so much experience out of that battle. Oh, that's terrifying. All of their ships are ridiculously high ranked now. Anyway. Alright, gonna build the drill school here. Go ahead and recruit more line infantry and cannon. And the ones that we did recruit, let's get them moving up here to Acadia.
And forward.
Because the British are coming, the British are coming.
Troops. Yes, sir. Citizens, march. Ready for orders. Immediately.
And at this point, we basically have a
Waiting for
good-sized army waiting up here for the British to get there. I don't like this unit of British troops, which is currently... It looks like they're trying to catch up with Washington here. Go ahead and replenish the rest of his army. He, however, is one turn, like this turn, marching distance away from Quebec, so that is going to hurt them. I think I have just enough funds to go ahead and recruit a general. Yes, up here in Acadia. Giles Nordell. With fancy yellow pants. Alright, well that gambit appears to be going pretty well. As long as this British stack does not come east to take Maine, that would suck.
your humble servant.
But
Forward.
we do have a decent sized army waiting for the British to show up, and their army is so spread out, it's not looking good for their attack up here. And as I mentioned last turn, they also have George Washington all up in their business up here
Sir,
in the north.
your orders. Your eyes and
Alright, Ashley Ferguson. What else can you do to this army? Infiltrate, I guess. Just. Yeah. There's usually an option where you can actually delay the army. Like, it'll have to sit still for a turn. And I wish I had that option. I'm not sure why I don't. Let's see how Quebec fares against Washington's army.
rats in a cage.
And given our sometimes picky auto-resolve, let's go ahead and do a quick save.
Victory!
We lost 58 men, and Quebec has fallen to the Americans. Which should add some income. Oh yeah. Adds another 2,000 gold. So, now the British have a choice. Do they try to stab me in the back and take Maine? Which would cause me to have to reinforce from both New York and Acadia. Do they try to make a run on Quebec and take it back? Oh, Montreal is undefended as well. Ah, the British have spread themselves too thin up here in the north. This is going to hurt them. This is going to hurt them really bad. I'm not sure what the AI is going to do next. This could get really interesting here. Washington earns some more morale and command points. He's like super elite general now. That's ridiculous. The population of Quebec is not too happy about the takeover, but hard to argue with an army sitting in your capital. Alright, AI, now it's your turn. Don't think there's anything else I can recruit. Nope. Here we go. They are cranking out some troops in the south. Ah, their main fleet is heading south for some reason. Oh, okay, so they're gonna strike out at Maine, it looks like. Oh, they do have some troops in Montreal. Okay. They were just off in the west. What is Spain up to? Ooh, Spain has another army coming north in their navy. I wonder what he's going to be up to. Alright, so we have a nice influx of income here. We have 7,300 gold this turn, thanks to the capture of Quebec. A new state capital here in New England. All that's left for our upgrade tree after that is the House of Representatives, which adds research points for technology. You know what? We may have to go for that. What else does that do? Nice bonus to tax income. Bonus points for military technology research. Ooh. That may be a good thing to go ahead and roll with. Alright, but first we have a few things to take care of. Thomas Jefferson just gained the trait morally impaired. Okay. These guys in Acadia may be on their own because we've got too many troops moving here in the south. So what I'm gonna do is actually take this unit of line infantry and cannon, march it back here to Brunswick, Maine, and add that unit of cannon and line infantry to it as well. I may have one unit of militia come and join them as well, just so we can hold the line.
Awaiting further order.
Now, before we go spending a bunch of our money, we have a lot of repairing to do up here with Washington. This army needs to be replenished. It costs us some money, and Quebec needs to be repaired. The barracks needs to be repaired. Well, actually, this is a drill school. That'll actually allow us to recruit some other infantry that we can't recruit yet ourselves. Ordnance Factory, 512 to repair. Nothing too fancy there, we already have one of those. Government Chambers, 1230 to repair, ouch. An Opera House, 3 something or other. That's going to add happiness. That should help get our population under control as well as give us a lot more recruitment options. We're going to go ahead and upgrade their road system. You see guys, the Americans take over, we start repairing your buildings, your forts, we start building new roadways. Isn't life just awesome? So Washington is going to have to watch these stacks of infantry over here in Montreal. They've already got a pretty good one over here with grenadiers, some militia, Hessian line infantry, and they're being reinforced by a larger stack with even more actual line infantry, more cannon. Yeah, let's just keep cranking out these units here. Mainly line infantry. Oh yes, thanks to the state capitol building we can now actually recruit 3 units at a time. So that's going to be all of our money for this turn. Question is, are the British going to combine armies before attacking? Are they going to attack one at a time? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Definitely have them nervous, it looks like. There's a lot of troop movements off in the west. Scattered. Ah, their army in Acadia is moving back south for some reason. What are they planning? Ah, they're burning down the mines. France, I'm not going to give you New York for an alliance. Tell you what, let's offer 20 turns of military access so they can move troops across my land. They already have all the technology that I have. Offer a payment of 357. I don't know. They're not interested. Okay. Well, they're already at war with Great Britain, so whatever. I don't really need to have an actual formal alliance with them. They burned down my logging camp here in Acadia. And it looks like... Okay, I think I see a plan coming together. These guys are kind of close together. They also burned down my mines. We'll talk about the plan here in a minute. And there's the mines being burned down. Recruitment, Confederation of New England. Let's see, what does New York need out of those units? We've got a lot of militia. Let's go ahead and give them both of those line infantry. We'll send a militia up here to Maine. Give them those 2 line infantry. To New York.
Ready and waiting for.
Move the unit of horse up here.
March! Waiting for your order.
More research is continuing. Oh, we need to research that socket bayonet too. That also is an improvement. Oh snap! Okay, we can now research fire by rank. I'm actually gonna abandon the current research on explosive shells. Screw that. We need fire by rank right now. That'll take 5 turns, but well worth it in the end. Alright. We'll keep replenishing Washington's army. This territory of Quebec is now earning me almost 3,000 gold per turn. And look at those research options. Let's get some grenadiers, some line infantry, some rangers. Yeah, we'll swap out some of Washington's troops here, some of these Minutemen, with some actual line infantry. Let's go ahead and get a classical university going in Maine. It's expensive, but it will greatly help our research.
Sir.
We're going to add this unit of militia to the troops here. This unit of militia from New York is going to stay here in Maine.
And at the ready.
Our cavalry has a pretty good range. Here's my plan. I'm going to move this stack of troops from Brunswick, Maine, up to engage this army, and I think these armies are close enough that they can actually join the battle. I'm going to want to get all of these guys right here involved in the same battle if possible. It's going to be a bit messy, but I can kick them out of my territory once and for all.
Yes, sir. Onward.
Alright. Let's go ahead and move this stack within range of the battle with our general.
Yes.
And let's see if we can go ahead and...
Destroy them.
Okay, yes, we're going to be involving at least 2 of those stacks in the battle. Gentlemen, let's kick the British out of Maine. Because our attacking army was actually that small stack, that's all that we get to deploy here at the beginning. The other main army stack with our general and all are going to actually show up probably from the east over here as reinforcements that march in once the battle begins. So what we're going to have to do is set up defensive positions, and we do have some good hillside here. Set up our cannon on. I also need to remember that because it is winter time, that's going to hurt troop movement. They're going to get tired easily, they're going to get cold, miserable and such. Some awkward terrain to deal with in this area. These woods will definitely help us. If you look, our units are actually hidden from the enemy. As long as we don't move them, they won't be able to see them. They're just ducked down here in the brush with their muskets. Let's add one more unit of militia up here in the woods. Okay, they're also hidden. Well, hopefully the enemy is going to go right for the bait and charge after our cannons here. We're going to have all of our cannons fire on this cavalry. No hit on the cavalry, but good hit on the cannon. Here come our reinforcements. Behind them, actually. Fortunately, the British also have some reinforcements coming in. They're going to be charging in for them. Keep our general safe. Ooh, they just tore through our dudes with some artillery. Comes some militia, as well as artillery. Now once this artillery gets set up, we cannot move it. So I think right here on the hill is going to be a good spot for it. Ooh, good hits on everything with that cannon. They're going to try to charge after my general here. Send my cavalry to intercept. Now, my regiment of horse is much more powerful than their provincial cavalry. So that's gonna be hurting them. Oh, cannon, stop, stop, stop. Get my cannons firing on the battle here. Lost quite a bit of militia to this cannon. They're getting hit hard though. Oh wow, look at that. Skipped a cannonball right into that one guy right there. Ouch. And now they're gonna panic and run. So I'm gonna have my guys open up on the British forces over here and move my cavalry that originally deployed back over here on the west side. We got plenty of cavalry over here now. Try to line up our flanks here. Close the ranks. Keep dropping artillery on them from over there. Whoa, what is that cannonball doing flying over here? Did that cannon just execute this guy? That was brutal. Alright, here come their troops. Why are my own artillery units... Oh no, it's not, it's theirs. Okay, well, we can solve that. What are these guys doing back? This is a very interesting, fluid battle. Their cannonballs are really hurting me. This unit of cannon that turned around. So you know what? Let's go for this artillery that's exposed back here. Keep our cannon fire going on their cavalry there. My units of horse have definitely distracted them. I'm gonna go ahead and advance. Alright, they're taking pot shots at my regiments of horse. Let's go ahead and just charge in there. Get these cannons to focus on these dudes. Go ahead and charge the Rangers. Painful, but come on, charge, charge, charge. gonna break their lines quickly, that should end it. Alright, I broke the Rangers line. Now for the militia. Ha, we caught these guys over here too. They're a little unit of militia. Let's have all of our artillery hold fire to prevent friendly fire while we mop up. Continue. Now that is how it's done. That should mop up most of those guys running around in Maine, as well as Acadia, and should almost completely seal up our northern front. So there is our victory. Deployed 3,537 versus 534. Nobody ranked up. No, the cavalry did. They just weren't part of our initial deployment. Alright.
You asked too much.
Not bad. Anyway, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and
Yes.
these two units of cannon are still left hanging up here in
Sir.
Acadia.
None shall defeat us.
Victory. Goodbye.
Troops, forward.
Replenish.
Ready for order.
Replenish.
Sir.
I'm
Make
gonna send them one of these cannons.
Troops, forward.
This line infantry I'm actually going to send back.
March.
This way. He'll hang out here in Maine.
Sir. Orders.
Need to mop up the rest of those guys. Alright, well, poor New York is still surrounded, but once we're done up here in the north, we can finally get some reinforcements to them. I'm going to continue recruiting and get a Minutemen here. Hopefully the British will keep distracted down here in the south, whatever they were doing. Probably fighting the Spanish, I guess. Yeah, is Spain still at war with Great Britain? Oh, they are. Okay, that's going to be a huge, huge help. The Spanish actually own Lower Louisiana here. This territory right here, and that's adjacent to, you know, Florida, as well as, not adjacent to, but it's very close to Georgia as well. That should keep the British distracted in the south, especially their navies. The navies are probably down here blockading the Spanish ports and leaving mine alone. And that's really going to give me the income that I need to get a better foothold.